The Show of Shame, an embarrassing protest that happened on the 9th of November 2025 at the MOA facility in Benin, has gotten heightened international recognition, and it is very, very disappointing. And again, it is not enough to say we are done, but that level of misnomer should not be condoned in a city that is regarded as the cradle of black civilization. Again, I will allow you to see this video recorded and documented by an independent investigative journalist, and then we'll come back and see if we have some time to talk about this. This is really embarrassing.
On November 9th, 2025, a quiet morning in Benin City took a dramatic turn. A private exhibition at the Museum of West African Art, an event attended by international diplomats, donors, and cultural leaders, was violently disrupted. What should have been a celebration of arts and heritage became a disturbing display of lawlessness and state failure. The event began at about 8:30 a.m. with guests arriving at the museum grounds and being welcomed by staff and vendors. Everything remained peaceful and calm until about 2 hours later, when the tone of the event began to change. Video evidence reviewed by this investigation shows two SUV vehicles, similar in appearance to official government transport, arriving near the museum entrance. According to eyewitnesses, a group of men disembarked from these vehicles. Their actions, posture, and movement suggest coordination rather than spontaneity. Shortly after the first group arrives, they are joined by additional men approaching from various directions. The crowd begins chanting loudly in local dialects, drawing more attention and creating tension around the premises. Within minutes, their numbers rise significantly. What began as a small group quickly transforms into a larger, agitated crowd. As the crowd grows, some members move toward the museum's perimeter fencing. They breach and enter the premises. Now, despite the presence of police officers assigned to protect diplomatic guests, the intruders were allowed to walk straight into the museum premises. There is no visible attempt to block them, no warning issued. In several moments, officers appear to escort or walk alongside the group. This raises an essential question. Why did the police fail to act? As the confrontation intensified, the intruders forced their way into the museum building, the very place where the EU ambassador, the German ambassador, the French ambassador, and the Danish ambassador were gathered. According to multiple witnesses, the diplomats were effectively trapped, unable to exit safely as chaos unfolded. Once again, the police officers on site did not intervene. Independent review of the footage reveals identifiable figures. One man, widely recognized as Kelio Kungbawa, appears prominently. In multiple clips, he is seen gesturing and leading the group. Another individual stands out, a man wearing a white cap with a symbol often associated with political allegiance. His presence raises further questions about the true motivations behind the intrusion. The group later claimed they were staging a peaceful protest. However, footage obtained independently contradicts that claim. Here, one individual is seen being beaten, shirt torn, and chased across the museum grounds. The attackers wield sticks. The victim struggles to escape.
Okay, yeah, Bini, land of blood. Yeah, land of blood. So our Alpha, we don't use that place. We did do anything because of our life, and we don't put out for life because of our Alpha. Anything we want to happen. Only we will put our life because of our Alpha.
All of this unfolds right in front of police officers who, for reasons best known to them, remained passive. Perhaps the most troubling moment occurs when the police commissioner arrives on site. Footage shows the CP entering the museum building escorted by Kelio Kungbawa, the same individual seen leading the intruders. Inside, rather than ordering the dispersal of the group, the commissioner can be heard directing the immediate shutdown of the private exhibition.
I'm here because we have information that there's a protest going on outside. The museum it has come under some kind of controversy. They don't want this place to be commissioned, and they think that the activity that is going on there might be related to commissioning. So we need to convince them that what is going on is not commissioning, but the only way we can convince them that it is not commissioning is to stop the event.
The decision raises serious questions. On what basis was the event shut down? And why was no effort made to remove the intruders who had breached the premises? Even more unusual is footage showing Mr. Kelio Kungbawa himself addressing the diplomats and guests within the museum. His standing in front of foreign officials, issuing statements, and effectively taking control of the situation prompts a critical question. On what authority was he permitted to do so? The presence of a senior police official in the same room makes the moment even more striking. When the diplomats met with the governor of Edo State after the incident, he reportedly claimed he was unaware of their visit to the state.
What happened yesterday was, to me, I didn't understand because I wasn't even aware that such gathering would be taking place yesterday.
But a leaked, acknowledged letter from the Belgian ambassador addressed to the governor and Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs indicates otherwise. Furthermore, the police commissioner had already assigned officers to provide security for these diplomats on their visit. If the state was unaware, why was a security detail provided? This incident could not have come at a more delicate moment for Nigeria. The country is already contending with rising diplomatic tensions following recent remarks by US President Donald Trump, who publicly described Nigeria as a disgraced nation, threatened possible military action, and designated it a country of concern over alleged Christian killings and worsening security conditions. The events of November 9th, captured clearly on video, risk worsening the nation's diplomatic standing and undermining its reputation with international partners.
This alone tells you that this is not good for our image, not good for any reason. Nobody should celebrate whatever happened that day. I still believe that no matter the divide we are in the conversation, whether we stand for it or we stand against it, there would have been a better way to propagate whatever we wanted to do. And I insist that at this moment, all of us need to come to agreement that we must be civil and we must be decent in whichever we want to push our agenda. It is no longer about whose concept is it, who owns it, who created it, who curated it, whose idea, who invested, who established. No, it is to whose benefit is this for. That's how we must. The same way, one of the things I owe against Obaseki tomorrow is the fact that he did not continue the Benin Waterstone project. I owe it against him. He had no reason not to have continued it. And no matter the excuse he made, you must agree that the fact that that Benin Waterstone project, despite all the money spent in it in the previous administration before Obaseki, the fact that it is not working, part of the reasons why we have the erosion problems in Benin. So now, despite all that, we are seeing a facility that can yield a lot of benefit, a lot of opportunities, a lot of direct and indirect opportunities for our teeming population, our growing business community. Then we say because we don't like a name, let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's let Moa thrive and let's see what we can do. All of us should come to an agreement to say, this is not the kind of image we want to project from our city. At this point, no. We are too civilized, too educated, too literate, and too social not to know that this is a value that we must protect. Again, politics aside, whatever decision, whatever ideology you have, whatever anger you have, let's deal with that behind the scene and let's let more thrive and exist. It is something that we should. I'm not happy seeing videos like this. I've told myself I'm not going to talk about this again. But with these videos surfacing, I felt the need to remind us that we have the need to develop. If we destroy this, if we say this will not stand, somewhere in the future we'll need something like this. And we'll spend money, spend time, spend energy. Why? Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Let's be smart. Let's do as we have been called. The cradle of black civilization. This is where light, education, activism, humanism, and even common sense started from in the black race. Let's not disappoint our forefathers. Let's be wise.